Hey Leo, Mariah here. I have officially moved in. I'm recording right from my bedroom. In this home, this has the best energy and it's the safest space that I just feel so connected to spirit. So y'all are gonna see me from my bedroom for a little bit here. So getting right on into your reading, I wanna see what's going on. I wanna see what's happening and what is it that you're needing to know at this time. So let's get right on into it. I want to thank you all too for the ones who have wished me a safe move. It was a very successful transition from Houston to Austin. So I'm in Austin, Texas, y'all. Let's go ahead though and get into it. We got the World in the reverse for you. Let's see, what else? We got the Ten of Pentacles. Can you tell me more, Spirit? What else does Leo need to know at this time? I'm getting the 30-day detox. The Queen of Fire, but I don't mean in a literal sense. This feels like we've been sitting at the wrong table. We've been sitting at tables that are not meant for us. We've been eating at tables that do not nourish us. It kind of reminds me of fast food, right? You go to McDonald's, Wendy's, Subway. It'll get you right for the moment, but it won't give you the right sustenance to keep you full. This, if I was to put this in an example sake, this is like sitting at the table with people just because maybe they have some type of power influence to help you out, or being at tables with people romantically that are not in alignment with you, but you don't want to be lonely, or at least some company is better than no company. Being at the table with family members just because we're blood, but yet we don't really feel like kinfolk. You know how we make grace or make accommodations for others just to sit at that table, but yet after we get up from that table, we're still hungry. We've been aligning and putting ourselves in positions around people, circumstances, and environments that may fill us for a moment, but does not sustain us for a lifetime. And it feels like Spirit has placed that hunger on your stomach even after you get up from the table, so that way you can recognize that the table that you've been sitting at does not truly nourish your soul. This is why I go into this 30-day detox for you. Again, not in a literal sense, but it feels like Spirit is almost challenging you or asking you to ask more of yourself, to require more of yourself, to step up to the plate more than what you have already before, and challenge yourself to truly detox your life. Detox that unhealthy food, detox that Subway, that McDonald's, that Burger King, that Chick-fil-A. And I don't mean literally, I mean the dead end relationships. The people that we still keep ourselves around just to have some type of company. The situations we tend to entertain just to have them, but they don't really do anything for us. They don't nourish our soul. They're not spiritually in alignment with us. They're not psychically or psychologically in the same lane as we are. Because the interesting part about it is, Leo, if you feel those hunger pains after you get up from that table, meaning once you get away from these people, you get away from these situations, right, temporarily, you will still realize that I'm dealing with this person, or I'm dealing with this job, or I'm dealing with these bad behaviors and habits that aren't benefiting me. It's leaving me more depleted than fulfilled. It makes me go into even the saying of not being able to pour from an empty cup. You always want to pour, of course, from when your cup is overflowing, but it feels like you've been pouring from your cup to the point where you need your cup filled. This is why we still are dealing with those hunger pains, because we're dealing with artificial or not, let me put it this way. We're dealing either with artificial circumstances, surface level situations, or people that are just not in accordance or alignment with us. And this comes into your energy with these cards, because if we can change the cycle that we keep repeating with this word, I'm sorry if you can't really see it too good. If we can change the cycle of what we've been repeating, if we can break the patterns of laziness, of a lack of discipline, if we can break the patterns of staying in a dead-end job that we know is not good for us, but yet we get up every day and still go. If we can break the patterns of continuing to pick the wrong partners, or dealing with relationships or circumstances that don't benefit us, but yet we still give them grace to be in our lives. If we can break the patterns of always wanting to be there, whether it's for our kids or for our family members, but then yet we have to deal with the pushback and the blowback of feeling like we're not getting our needs met in return. This is Spirit saying, do a 30-day detox. Cleanse your environment, the people, the circumstances, and the situations, because once you do that, again, 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands is here. This is setting you up for a more fulfilling life that's in accordance of the plan that you have for yourself. Even if you can't articulate what your future holds, you already know where your soul wants to go. Your soul already feels where it wants to be led and where it's trying to be called to, even if you don't know in the moment what that looks like. This is all about obedience. That's what that reminds me of, obedience. How obedient are you, not only to yourself, but to your spirit? How obedient are you to the future you? The future you that will thank you for the choices that you're making today to align yourself to meet your future self. where your future self is in that happy marriage or relationship. Your future self is in that fulfilling job. Your future self is on that stage and able to touch babies and kiss the fans and meet people. That future self that has the financial security and sustainability where you don't have to worry about bills or rent or gas and mortgage and all of that. It starts now. It truly starts now. What else can you tell me? I feel like this is such an abstract message. I hope this ain't coming off a little too wonky for you. Tell me more, Spirit. What else does Leo need to know? We got the 4 of Wands. Your life is changing. Your life is changing. Some of you too, of course this is not going to be all of you, but once you really align yourself with like this 30-day detox, and I'm just using that for an analogy's sake, not literal, maybe some of you are going on a detox plan, but if you align yourself with that, your third eye is going to become very, very clear, where you can actually start to articulate, if you can't in this moment, where you need to go and what truly aligns with you and your future. And for some of you, that includes maybe like a luxury lifestyle. I'm just getting a lot of expense, but expense where you can afford it. You're not living above your means. You're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's like you'll be able to be comfortable where you can buy that nice house or upgrade your car if you need to upgrade your car, or be able to have the money to take care of your family and send them money for college or for their own living circumstances, while still be able to maintain and sustain your own financial comfortability. Why do I feel like I'm looking at a Leo that's on the trajectory of being wealthy? No, this ain't, okay. I'm so sorry. Let me just, please forgive me. This is not going to be for all of y'all, because not all of y'all are going to have this path in life, right? So if it doesn't align with your spirit, it's okay. I'll catch you on the next reading. But if thus far what I've been telling you really aligns with your spirit, somebody's on the path to being wealthy. Somebody's on the path to being wealthy, but there's currently distractions in your life that can deter you or make it take longer to get to this path. So you may be questioning, am I on the right path? Am I going in the right direction? This comes back to that detox. I always look at the question when people ask me, hey, Mariah, am I on the right path? I look at it in the reference of a video game, just because most people can understand it. And in a video game, you got the beginning and the end, right? But as you're on that video game, you'll have side quests and side missions that you got to complete to be able to get extra tools, special tricks, etc., whatever. And those side quests and missions are usually the things that tend to hold us up in life, right? Which can be the dead-end job, the dead-end relationship, not knowing our self-worth, dealing with our own traumas and PTSDs. Those repetitive loops and cycles that we stay on, the more we stay dealing with those things, the longer it takes to beat the game, right? And it feels like whatever these things that are just tripping you up, and it feels like you keep getting tripped up on either picking the wrong partners or dealing with concerns with your jobs. Maybe you always find yourself quitting jobs or ending up having a job release you. Maybe you always find yourself back in these financial patterns or dealing with your financial difficulties or management. Even things with family members. It's like once you get ahead, here comes family members with their hands out trying to ask help from you and ask for your assistance, when it's like you trying to save yourself. I can't come and save y'all. These are things that keeps holding you up, that can make you feel a little bit clouded or uncertain on if you are on the right path. You're always on the right path, but you have to assess when you're caught up in these loops. I need to stop repeating this cycle and get the heck out. That's why I'm calling this 30-day detox. Again, that's a part of this training program. That's a weird word to say after saying that. I just got training program. This feels like strength training for you. And not unless somebody out there may be into fitness, maybe you're trying to get into shape, but I don't mean it, again, literally. This is strength training. These side quests, these distractions, these areas of life that we have been either self-imposed, hooked up and stuck on, or other people have kept pulling us back into the ringer. All of these things are strengthening you. And sometimes you got to hit your head a couple of times, especially if you are a stubborn Leo. Sometimes you got to keep hitting your head until you realize, okay, my head hurts. I'm tired of getting my head knocked out. I'm tired of getting hit over the head. But each time you get hit over the head with an experience, it's strengthening you. But it feels like you don't need to be strengthened anymore. So if you keep finding yourself going through patterns, this is more self-imposed at that point. You learned the lessons. You learned the lesson. Now it's the matter of, what do we do with these lessons? This is now understanding that hunger pain, you sitting at tables with people, circumstances, and situations that are going to leave you deprived, even if it is fulfilling in the moment. And this can come down to even your habits and your behaviors. After those hunger pains come back up, that is for you to understand, okay, I get it. I already learned my lesson. Let me remove myself. But when you can finally get up from the table and say, I want to be around people, circumstances, jobs, family members, romantic partners, friends, and even myself, because sometimes we can be our own biggest setback. We can be our own disease. We can be our own plague. When you truly recognize that, I don't know why, it just feels like money. It feels like a lot of financial wealth. And not just that, but it feels like a wealthy life, right? Where emotionally you feel abundant and blessed because you were obedient, not only to your spirit, but you knew that where you were was not destined for you to be, because you know your future self was calling you for much greater. So this is, again, having the comfortable home, being able to go and do things that you want to, right? All the surface stuff, but emotionally being able just to sit, because I can just even envision somebody just sitting out in their backyard and it's very lush, right? Lots of green, really expansive, drinking a glass of tea and just relaxing and just saying, I can finally breathe. I can finally breathe knowing that I got money in my account. The people that matter the most to me, they're all right. And if they're not all right, I know that they will be all right. Being able to realize, okay, if I want to go do something, I have the means to be able to do so. Or if I don't want to do anything at all and I just want to sit here all day and drink my tea, I can. There's a liberation of freedom because you chose to bet on yourself and get up out of that, get from that table, remove yourself from circumstances and leave. What else? I'm sorry. Okay, we got the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And I'm sorry if you can't see the cards too well. The lighting in here is just a little wonky. I gotta fix that. We got the Seven of Earth and the Queen of Swords. In the bottom of the deck is the Devil in the reverse. You're breaking an addiction. Whether you're cognizant of this addiction or you're not cognizant of this addiction, you're breaking an addictive behavioral pattern that's been stuck with you for some time. Whether that is, and I think I mentioned this in my last video, of like maybe smoking. If you are a smoker, whether it's nicotine or weed or whatever else is your smoke of choice, I'm not judging. It's like that's been a main holdback from you really being able to see things clearly. You're giving that up. If you are a drinker, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, but it looks like you're going to be putting down the bottle so that way you can get your sanity back. You can get your clarity back. That way other people aren't affected by your addictions if you are dealing with addictions that are affecting other people. It's like the more you're investing day by day, and it's really a day at a time process. Don't rush yourself. Don't try to take on the world overnight, because a lot of times I know Leos, y'all want to take on the world when you feel amped up or motivated about something, and then you guys tend to deal with the hard crash because you put too much on your shoulders all at once. This is Spirit saying, pace yourself. It's one day at a time, but you will reach this wealth. You will reach this financial abundance that will give you an abundant life. But we got to start with breaking the cycles and the bad behaviors first, and that starts with us. Then that starts with the people in our environments. Then that starts with the people and the situations we subject ourselves to. And you're getting very clear about it. I think it's like you're just, either you're sick and tired of your own shit, you know, so if you're dealing with your own issues, traumas, griefs, or again, addictions and bad behaviors, even if it's down to laziness and not being consistent and not having discipline, that can even be your own cycle and pattern too. It could be just as simple as that. It's just like you're tired of not getting ahead because you've been holding yourself back, even though you know you want to get ahead, even though you know your future self is calling you to be where you need to be. It's like our day-to-day reality keeps us stunted. And there could be things that are going on in your day-to-day reality. Because don't get me wrong, that Devil on the bottom of the deck is a heavy energy. So maybe you've been a stressed out Leo. Maybe you've been dealing with anxiety. Maybe you've been dealing with complicated situations. You know, we can desire to get ahead as much as we want to, but when life starts lifing, you will get pushed back. And that's just the reality of it. And that's why we got to give you know, yourself grace. But I think there's only so much you can extend. There's a difference between giving yourself grace versus making excuses. And I think you're at this stage of, I don't want to make excuses for myself. I can see this clearly. This person is not good for me. I don't want to make excuses on it. I could tell this job is just not going to get me where I need to be financially or make me feel fulfilled. I'm going to stop using the excuse of my bills and my situation and my kids. I just got to get up out of here, and I will figure out a way. Spirit will guide me to where I need to be. I got to stop making excuses to family and saying, you know what, that's my mother, that's my kids, that's my father. You know what, I love them, but they have their own life to live on their own. I have to make sure I take care of me. I've done my part. They're grown, or they got to do what they got to do. I got to figure out me. It's like you gave grace enough. Now it's like, ain't no more excuse. But I feel like this is bringing you to a lot of wealth, like literal financial abundance that produces a financially comfortable life, a settled life. Can you tell me what more comes out of this, Spirit? And you're so ready. Your energy is so ready. We got the King of Wands and that Seven of Cups in the upright. And that King of Wands is in the reverse. Two of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I want to see one more thing. Why is this King of Wands, this King of Fire in the reverse? Why is this King of Fire in the reverse? And that too. Okay. There's somebody here you're going to have to, there's somebody here you're going to have to leave behind, though. Specifically a masculine figure. Doesn't have to be romantic. It could be for you, Leo, but it doesn't have to. This could be a father figure, maybe a brother. A friend, coworker, just whoever this would be. This would be somebody, though, who knows about your personal life. So it wouldn't be a stranger. This is somebody who kind of knows, even if they don't know in full detail, they know kind of some rumblings about what's happening in your life, if not, you know, what's going on with it. But this is a negative energy. I'm not the biggest fan of it. This feels like somebody who almost expects or wants you to live life either how they view life, how it should be lived, or you should be taking a certain route, or you should be going a certain way, or maybe you should have led a certain life and you didn't. It feels like for you, Leo, you took some type of, in some regard, some type of unorthodox path to your life. It doesn't feel like you took the traditional standard route of leave out the parents' house and go here and then go there and then do this and then have, get married and have the kids and X, Y, and Z. It doesn't feel like you did the whole American dream style linear trajectory. You took kind of an uncharted path in some way. There's something unorthodox about the path that you took in this lifetime. Whether you didn't go to school, like college or university, right when you graduated high school. Maybe you went out into the real world. Maybe you took a path of having kids later on in life or getting married later in life. There's something that's off. Not in a bad way. It's just you chose to live your life the way you chose to live your life. And whoever this King of Fire is in the reverse, they are not, I'll put it this way, they disapprove of the way you chose to live your life or some certain choices that you've made with your life. And this is one of those people where I don't know, again, if this is like your partner, a family member, a friend. Because it's like a person almost having certain expectations of what you should do. And yet you're being like, I'm going to live life for me. I don't care what you think I should do. I'm choosing to live life the way it's like somebody disagreeing with how you chose to go about your life. And at this point, no matter good, bad, or indifferent, where your life has ended you up, you can say that you're at least proud that you had the chance to choose how you wanted to live your life and you didn't listen to anybody. And this energy is going to have to go. Because this is a negative energy that's going to either critique you, criticize you, or give their opinions, or have some type of disdain towards you, especially as you go through this 30-day detox, because they're one of the people that you need to detox out of your life. That they feel like they know what's best for you, and I don't want to say that they don't, but you know what's best for you better than anybody else. I'll put it that way. But this person, they're not able to really come where you're going with this financial. I don't know, somebody's about to be really well set financially, and I mean like great money. Great freaking money. Somebody's about to really be financially set. And this would be the type of person that will put a rain cloud over that experience. Because then they'll tell you, oh, Leo, this is how you should be spending this money, or this is what you need to do with this career. They're going to start even trying to a degree, trying to control this newfound financial freedom that you're going to have, or this career success, or feeling just very wealthy in life, or even if you are moving into a relationship, whether you or your partner is financially successful. So of course you're benefiting through that partnership. And now this person is saying, well, you should be doing this. I don't know who this is. I'm not a fan of it. They gotta go. They gotta go. I will tell you this though, Leo, nonetheless, somebody's getting really ready to move into a very financially lucrative season in their life. And I mean very much so. But this is gonna come down to you doing that 30-day detox. All right? So Leo, I love this. I truly love this for you. I'll catch you on the next one.